This is Aiko Hormann. This session is entitled Cast Down Imaginations and Pull Down Strongholds, according to 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 3 through 6. Have you tried not to think about something while you're upset about certain situations or having temptations? I believe the very effort you use in trying not to think about it, you actually give it the double power. Have you had that experience? You just cannot get away from it. The fact is, the imagination will win your willpower every time, because imagination, using your brain and the pictures, and has a lot more power to it. And so just think about dieting, your favorite food in front of you, or just in your imagination, think about it, and all that gooey stuff, and your saliva is already forming, and you have tried to win by willpower, but you cannot win by your willpower because your imagination have so much more power. And the brain processes the pictures more efficiently, especially when something is emotion-oriented, emotion-laden pictures. And your right hemispheres as well as left hemispheres are involved when pictures and imaginations are combined. And that's why I'm talking about casting down imaginations by the power of God, not by your own self-effort. I will be reading the scripture later, but I want to share with you some scientific facts about the human brain. It is a marvelous creation of God, and the brain can process more than 1,000 impressions per second. But when you translate it into computational terms, you can say approximately 10 trillion, or 12 zeros after 1, computations per second for perceptual motor circuitry. In other words, something that you habitually do things. But it will slow down to about 1 million computations per second for higher level reasoning. But even then, it's really a very fast processing. But let's come back to a reasonable number, like 1,000 impressions per second. But out of that, only 18% of that comes from external stimuli through your 5 senses. Guess what the other 82% comes from? Well, they are internally generated through your self-talk and imageries. And when I talk about self-talk, here's another statistics that you might want to know. When you actually verbalize speech, speak it out, human lips and tongue can speak only about 150 to 200 words per minute. But when you internalize it so that it will be a self-talk without making any sound, then you can speak as many as 1,300 words per minute. Isn't that something?